Hi. So my big sister's birthday is next month, and I decided to make her a birthday dress, which she agreed to, and her favorite color is purple. So I asked her specifically what sort of design of dress she would like, and she said she would like a dress designed the same way that I designed one of the dresses I made back in 2020. This dress is an imitation of a dress that featured in a couple episodes of Marvel's Agent Carter Season 2. It featured when they went to the horse racing derby and in the episode A Little Song and Dance. It is a red dress that I call the Peggy dress, and it looks like this. It's supposed to have ruffle all along the top of the sleeve, but for this original one that I made the sleeve too tight. But yeah, it's got this nice cross piece and nice binding around here. It's supposed to have piping, but at the time I made this I didn't know what piping was. So yeah, so this is the original Peggy dress that I made. Nice red, very pretty, lined, all that. It's got some darts in it and a nice 5-paneled skirt. So this is the Peggy dress. This is the dress that my sister wanted a purple version of. I made her this one, which is purple. And it's made of a homespun cotton. It's got princess seams compared to the darts. I gave her the choice princess seams or darts, and she went with princess seams because it would make her look better, apparently, or something like that. There are some slight changes to this, such as the neckline isn't as low cut. She didn't want it to be that low cut. The dress itself is shorter because she's not that tall. The sleeves are a bit longer. And it doesn't have the cross piece because the neckline is too high up and will make her choke. And I don't want to choke my sister. That would not be a nice thing for her birthday. I'm going to move this a bit closer so you can see it better and get back to you in a sec. Okay, so now you can see this dress a bit better. There, in proper lighting and things. So, as you can see, compared to the red dress, it has a different neckline. Instead of the cross piece going across the neckline part, I'm actually doing it on the dress itself because, again, neckline too high up. Also, it's a nice little compromise because I did tell her I would put binding on it, and I bought binding, and I'm not going to use purple binding on anything else, so why not just use it on her dress? So for the bodice pattern, I used a basic bodice block and then made princess seams, and the way that you would make princess seams would be where the existing dart is. For this specific princess seam, for the existing dart, you just bring it up, curve it around the bust, and bring it up to the middle of the shoulder seam. Which then makes it stops you from having to make darts, and it's easier. Yeah. So that's how you do this princess seam. You just extend your dart up to the middle of the shoulder. In a straight line, because you don't really want to reduce anything up in the top part, you just want to reduce in the midsection. So you keep the dart shape in the midsection, and then you close it up and go up to the middle of the shoulder. And it's the same in the back too. Another sort of princess seam would be one that goes through the middle of the armhole. So for that one, you would connect the middle of the armhole, find where your bust dart point would have been, connect it to there, and then bring it down your existing under bust dart to make a nice curve. So the middle bit ends up being wider. It more accentuates your bust part, whereas this one makes you appear taller, which my sister wanted more than accentuating her bust. For the skirt, I used this McCall 7883 pattern. I specifically used this shorter one. This is roughly the same shape as the Peggy dress skirt. It also has 5 panels, and it works. when I made the Peggy dress, I copied an existing skirt that I owned. But this pattern works just as well. It has the same shape, the same drape, and things like that. And if you're really good, you could probably match up your seams. I couldn't do that because I'm not that good. Yeah, so I used a simple homespun cotton for her dress. I used about 3 meters of it. I did line it. I didn't line it as far down as the Peggy dress, the original Peggy dress, but it is lined with a nice bright purple satin lining. It's only lined from the shoulders down to about mid-thigh. Her sleeves are not lined because it's summer, it's going to be too hot. Lining is mostly so that she doesn't get all the seams sticking into her. There is a weird angle problem on this dress. I don't know how that happened, but it's okay. No one's going to be too picky about it. Yeah, I didn't hem the bottom because frankly I'm lazy. So I just cut everything on against the selvage so that everything is technically hemmed. So the skirt is cut along the selvage and the sleeves are cut along the selvage. For the sleeves I used a different pattern that I don't have with me at the moment, but it's a different pattern that also uses short sleeves, so this was not a self-drafted pattern and it fits her fine. I may have made the armholes a bit too long. They reach down to here, so it's quite a big armhole, so she'll have a lot of breathing space. For the back, I did a bit of pleating in the back of the skirt because the skirt ended up being wider than the bodice, so she's got a nice little pleat in the back. The zipper has been put in the way that you usually do zippers, which is you put the zipper in right sides facing, then turn it over and zip it again and sew it again. Ended up crooked, again, not sure why, but it's okay. No one's going to be really looking at her back, I hope. And then I've got some binding along the top that just goes all the way around the neckline and ends in this nice cross piece. Yeah, so that's the Peggy dress for my sister. I put the zipper in separate to the lining. The lining then got hand sewn in with just a simple felling stitch. Yeah, so really happy that I got to make this. I had promised her I'd make it back in like January, and it's taken me almost the whole year to make this dress. So I hope she likes it. And yeah, so next year I am planning to make another version of the red Peggy dress in a thinner fabric, because the fabric I used for the original Peggy dress was quite thick, so it is quite warm. So I want to make one that's good for summer with a thinner homespun like this. And it's going to be a more vibrant red color, so it's going to look really cool. Yeah, so that was this dress. Yeah, I've got some shots of me sewing the dress together, so I'll probably put that in as little B-roll footage in random moments, or just put it in now, I guess. I didn't do any French seaming or fancy seams. I just did normal seams for this dress and for the skirt, and things like that. I sewed the lining separately. I stitched all the skirt pieces together using straight stitches, and then I sewed the lining skirt to the lining bodice, stitched them together like that, and then I stitched together the dress to the lining by stitching along the neckline, so you've got a nice finished neckline. Yeah, and that's basically it. So yeah, I'm very happy with this dress. I hope you liked my little inserts of the process. If you did, please let me know, and I will endeavor to do that more with my sewing projects, because it was kind of fun. So yeah. Next week I will be doing a belated little Unus Annus reflection for their 2-year anniversary. I'll probably film that on Tuesday because I'm going in for my wisdom tooth removal on the Thursday, and I don't want to be recording videos when I can't talk. So yeah, and then next month will be that Q&A, so send in your questions, and my battery's about to run out, so like the video if you did, comment any questions for the Q&A. Link to my socials is in the description below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.